In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Clone Commander from the Battlefront 2 Clone Pack that was part of both the 30th anniversary line and then was repacked into the Legacy Collection. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure which collection this action figure is from because I got this guy loose on eBay. It's been about 6 years now at this point. Personally, out of all the clone troopers in that set, this was the one I wanted the most. I've always been a big fan of the clone commander from that game, which is basically just a galactic marine with a unique weapon with him. But I would like to get that set brand new at some point, but it's very expensive. I do recall seeing it in stores, especially at stores like Toys R Us back in 2008 and 9. It was one of those things where you go to the store and you see it and you think, oh, this is a great set. I would like to own this, but unfortunately, at the time, I just wasn't able to get a hold of it. But fast forward several years later, finally decided to get the commander. I forget exactly what I paid for him. I think it was around $20, which I don't think it was too bad of a deal at all. It seems like the Jet Trooper is the most expensive out of that set, which is very reasonable because it is another highly sought after character, and it's probably one of the fan favorites from that game anyway. I've talked a little bit about Battlefront 2 before, but personally, I'm a bigger Battlefront 1 fan of the original game. I still consistently play that. But Battlefront 2, I would say since about 2011 and 12, I've rarely played it. It just feels too much like a shooter to me, while Battlefront 1 felt like it had a little bit more strategy to it. It was a little bit more of a slower paced game, which I liked. And yeah, it's just the overall feel of the game. All those things culminated together. I'm just a bigger fan of Battlefront 1. And plus, there's less Jedi involved, less Force powers involved, and things like that in the first game, which I appreciate more. And even the few Jedi that are featured in there, a few Sith, they're very subtle and they're not as huge of an impact to the game, I don't think. But anyways, let's just take a closer look at this guy. And he is just a repaint of the Galactic Marine. I do recall playing Battlefront 2 and being extremely impressed with this guy. Besides him replicating a Galactic Marine, which is one of my favorite clone troopers, I always liked this weapon he had, which was, I think, like a rotary cannon, and it was a very powerful weapon in game too. And I will mention the rest of the clones featured in the Battlefront 2 pack. They are pretty much all just repaints of previous clones. Even like the Jet Trooper, for instance, is just a repaint of this guy. 501st clone, I think, is just a straight repack, some paint differences, and then you have the Engineer, which I think is like a kit bash of other clones. What else is there? The Sharpshooter is just an airborne trooper. Then the Heavy Gunner, I think they just used as they used a Commander Bakara mold for that, and then gave him a new weapon. And there's also the Clone Marine, which I think is just a 501st Clone Trooper as well, but that was not included in this set, but it is in the game. And of course the Clone Pilot. So the main difference between this Clone Commander and the Galactic Marine is in the paint. As you can see, the Commander has a much more darker purple. Has a lot of nice weathering applied to him as well. And besides the paint apps and the rotary cannon, those are pretty much the only differences between these two action figures. Pack's painted a little bit different as well. Does hold the weapon well in his hand. I've never really had problems with it. I always have him displayed with it. It does have a removable helmet. Same exact head as the Galactic Marine, which I think is supposed to be the Bodhi Taylor head. But he does have much lighter skin, or much lighter skin tone. You see the difference between the two right there. Weathering is nicely applied all throughout the armor, but it is a little bit harder to see because of the darker paint apps here. Looks good on his boots as well. Got the comma here, which is plastic. And then you do have a silver trim along the comma here. Pouches, the comma, the bandolier there. Articulations, the ball joint, the head, and then hinge shoulders, elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, and then swivel hips and hinge knees and hinge ankles. And for his accessory, the rotary cannon, it's very nice. Would have been nice if it had a blast effect or something like that. This definitely could have accommodated that, but I don't think it came with one. And I'm pretty sure this is the only accessory that came with the Commander. I think it's appropriately sized. Seems kind of realistic that he would run around carrying this. And looks really good with it. I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about the Clone Commander. Would I recommend it for your collection? I definitely would. I would recommend the whole pack, even though at this time I don't have it. But like I said, I do hope to track that down at some point. Same with the droid pack. That's a very nice one as well. Both packs are extremely expensive, but the droid pack is a little bit cheaper usually than the clone pack. I wish we did get an Imperial set and a Rebel set as well. I think that would have been great. Well, unfortunately, that never happened. As far as price is concerned for the Commander, like I said, I'm pretty sure I only paid about $20 for him loose, which I don't think was too bad of a deal. So he's probably somewhere in that ballpark range. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. And check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.